And how come Reverend Biscuit don't tell her she's in the book? Turn to the book of Esther and let's talk. You need a dictionary. And again, I inspire, implore, and admonish you brothers to buy the Metaphysical Dictionary. If you're going to be students of truth, of knowledge, you need to be able to define words. Let there be no conversation without an understanding of the words. All right, go get it. Here comes one of them Morris sisters. Didn't want to be an all-man affair here today. Last week I had an all-sister affair. What's up? Bring me the good sister. I want her to know too. Yes, right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Who knows what the word name Esther means right off the top of their mentality? Who knows? Ma'am? No. Now I'm doing that because I want to point out something. There's some words, some ideas, some names. That's right. Get on out of here, Lucinda. You're supposed to know. You see? When somebody keeps underlining a concept, keeps mentioning it, keep bringing it forward, your mind is supposed, your intuitive faculty is supposed to say, I wonder what that means. You see? The way to truth is by the route of inquiry. One of the great blessings of a human being is to have his faculty of curiosity awakened and quickened, so he will ask questions. There was a little girl on the bus, and every time she'd ask her mama, Mama, how come that's like that? She would explain. And the little girl would say, why? And mama would try to explain. And the little girl would say, why? And the whole ride, the child kept why in front of mama. Wore out. Wore out, you know. That's a powerful, powerful statement. Why? An endless, unanswerable question is why. But one that drives us to the point where there are no more questions, because the why is the becoming. That is why. The why is G-O-D. Why the question? Not because you don't have the answer. It's because you're not the answer. Have you seen a star in the east lately? We talked about the free woman. We also dabbled a little bit in the book of Ruth. We're going to look at first the name. Turn to Esther in the Metaphysical Dictionary. Let me get my notes here so I can make reference here. Now I want to do one of two things. I don't want to discredit the Eastern Star Order, and I don't want to give them too much credit. They are relevant. There's no doubt about it. They provide an I'll be done. Left my thing. Wait a minute. Okay. They are relevant to Moorish science and the return of Moorish culture. They have been somewhat the custodians of a portion of that knowledge in and around the black world. I don't know what the Eurocentric Eastern stars teach. I won't pretend that I do. I don't know as to whether the sisters in the Eastern Star Order in America, black, are getting a great deal of knowledge, or if they're just brushing the surface. If this is their heaviest book, they're in serious trouble. This is an introduction, a tidbit. See? And the problem gets to be when you look and see a man has written the rules and the order for women's behavior and development. That's the first problem. There's been only one woman who jumped all over everybody male and embarrassed them and chopped them down. Madam Helena Petrovna Blavatsky. And they went to throwing witch at her and everything else. She shot the Catholic Church down. And she went and shot the Masonic Order down. And let those who were students know they didn't have no knowledge behind them doors. They were talking symbolisms for the sake of the brethren and for the sake of their order. Come on in here, Mason. So it got to be a point where hopefully, because this is only some speculation, the next level up from the Eastern Star is the daughters of Isis. What they are learning, what they have learned, I don't know. I had two opportunities to see one sister in the spirit. I met her in brother's house. Then when I left the house, she got it on the astral and showed me her, quote, Egyptian crown. You know, so they wasn't jiving in that order. You know, she had some clothes on. You know. Then I saw another sister, the wife of a brother who was Muslim, who had been to Egypt. She got in the spirit and showed me. She had the same crown on. She was Muslim. You know. So something positive is going on, you know. So the reason I said I can't and shouldn't and don't want to knock it. Sit down, my brother. Rest your bones there. There is such a thing as privileged knowledge. It is high knowledge that is guarded and protected by the Spirit itself. There is that knowledge that has been hacked out by your ancestors down through the ages that has been considered exclusively the right of that order to disseminate it to those whom they chose and selected. That's where the whole concept of mystery comes from. Private knowledge, keep out, is the real meaning of the word mystery. And it's guarded. You know, by that I mean, if you steal it, abuse it, and misuse it, something is coming at your ass. Okay? Okay? Be no doubt about it. You know? If you abuse divine knowledge, something will hand you the karma for the abuse of that knowledge. Let's start where we should start. You start with the name first. That's how you really begin to learn. 208, thank you. Yeah, the dictionary. Now before I do that, let me turn to the book of Esther. And I want to read the first chapter and first verse. Now it took place in the days of Ahasuerus, the Ahasuerus who reigned from India to Ethiopia. Does anybody know where that puts Ahasuerus? Thank you. Relevant to the black woman. See? Persian. Esther, star, the planet Venus. happiness, good fortune. Then it gets into the Israelitish thing there. The metaphysical meaning, the dissolving power of spiritual love. This is an antidote for dictatorial will. Well, Charles just kind of slid on off to the side. You know, he didn't want to deal with it. He just kind of slid on around it, you know. Queen Esther had all her relatives, the Jews, spiritual thoughts, join her in the feast. This means that we must deny all selfish desires out of our love before, well, he gets into the moralities of it. The star that Esther is, and the word Esther comes from the Latin word aster, which is the Latin word for star. Then the word Esther and the word Easter hook up. Then you know what Easter is all about. It's about, have you seen a star in the east lately? Okay. The star we're talking about is found about right there in the spiritual sky. That's the star the sister's looking for. The point between the eyebrows is where you want to see the star in the east. I've done this in other lectures. The top of the head is the north. The bottom of the feet is the south. The back of the body is the west. The front of the body is the east. The inside is east, traveling east, going east. When you reach a certain level in your spirituality, in your meditation, you will see a star between your eyes. It will be either silver, golden, or bright as the bright and shining sun. Okay? In other words, nature is the author of the five-pointed star. It does something. I'll tell you that. It's not just something you see and something you say, oh, how nice. It's there for a reason and for power. Again, the why. Why meditate? So you can see a star in the east. That's why. The five-pointed star represents what, my brother? And what? And what? Relevant. Ain't nothing to do with religion. And you were right on all three counts. Man, God, and Allah. That's right. Relevant. In the language of symbology. Positive. Significant. Revealing. Healing this language of what things really mean. It is not a critique for the problem. That came later. The universe is the author of the secret language. It comes from the Creator. It is buried in nature. Many leaves and flowers are the perfect geometrical shape of a five-pointed star. It is up to us to examine nature. The Grand Master of the Yogi does, the Sufi does. He reads nature. They know the meaning of the wind when it blows. And we need to do likewise. Okay, let me get back over here. These are the three steps. I won't get into this because this is considered a part of that privileged knowledge of the first 3 degrees of the Eastern Star Order. But they are relevant to the black woman, is why I want it on video, so a sister will see it somewhere, who's headed for the Holiness Light of God Church and getting ready to sing herself into either serenity or joy. I mean, the singing works, but that maybe she'll know something about self. The Eastern Star, the Queen of the South, and can anybody pronounce that name? Yeah. Interesting, isn't it? Well, it's not in the Bible. It's not in the metaphysical dictionary. What in the world is it doing then in the Eastern Star book? Then yes, it is in the Bible. Yes, it is in the dictionary. Yes, it is in the dictionary. Yes, it is relevant. Turn to the name Martha, and let's find out what Martha means. Anybody, what does Martha mean? I don't hear it. Anybody can answer. Somebody come up with it.
Mistress.
Stop right there. Don't go another further. Now you got to ask yourself a question. What does mistress mean?
Of a family.
No, it does not. My sister. I know, but I'm just being Sagittarius here. You know, I'm so delighted to have this information. Mistress means this. That's an E. Y'all see that? That's what mistress means. So when you brothers on the side say, "You my mistress, you have to do what I tell you." You just call your woman your master, because that's what mistress means. It's the feminine gender of master. Why and how does this work? A Martha, there's a Martha, there's a Martha. Okay? If you wonder where the other A goes, a Martha, not just Martha, a Martha there, a Martha there, a Martha sleeping next to you. All right.
I got a quick question.
Yes, son.
In church they say Maranatha. Is that the same?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can pronounce it any kind of way you want, but the thing is, proof in the pudding is when it comes out of the order, it's supposed to be verified in somebody's lexiconographic information. Well, the word ain't there, my brother. I looked. Okay. Then, if you are a student, the next thing you want to do is it anagrammatic writing? Well, yes, it is. Then, can I unscramble it? How much information do you have will determine if you can unscramble. It's easy to do dog, ain't it? Okay. Anagrammatic writing is a part of what the Kabbalistic science is and all about. The next level is lexiconographic writing, where one word means a whole sentence. Then take it to another level, where a whole paragraph is a depiction of a whole definition of a whole thing. Okay? That's your ancestors' work. You see? In the Book of the Dead. Wait a minute, that's not the Book of the Dead. That's the book of the coming forth by day and night. Wait a minute, that ain't the book of the coming forth by... That's the book of the master of a secret house. Or the book of the mistress of the secret house. So we know we have something to inherit. You see? Which means we have something of valuableness to give to our children. Something that will last and endure and affect their lives positively forever if we can keep handing it forward. But you can't hand forward what you ain't got. So you got to get it. Okay? That's why it's, in my mind, an open science, that you don't have to join anything to get it from me. Okay? That's what freedom is about. It doesn't matter as to whether you belong to this or that in my head. I know who you are and know what your possibilities are. What you do with it is your business. I forewarn you to do what is right with it, because it has a boomerang hidden up under. All right. Okay. He who is forewarned is forearmed. So we know the first step is initiation into the order of. Then the next step is initiation into queenship. That's a heavy title. What does queen mean? Anybody? Anybody? Somebody? Somebody answer me. Ma'am? Thank you. That's what a queen is. And that is what a queen is, and a queen only. I don't give a damn how many crowns she's wearing. If she ain't got this hair raised up, she ain't no queen. I hear the little sisters running around, I'm a queen. Yeah, all right, okay. No, you got to get something up there. Queen is about power. Ain't about cute. Cute won't stop nothing. So the Queen of the South is where, my sister? Up, headed the wrong direction. I said the Queen of the South. And she reached up by her head.
Okay.
All right. Know your directions.
I was the head of myself.
All right. Oh, well, where is it? Still ain't told me where it is. And the Queen of the South shall rise up and destroy. All right. This generation. All right. Don't forget that. But of course, your spirit ain't gonna let you forget it, because your queen is gonna rise up. Yes, your Queen of the South is gonna rise up from the sacral vertebrae and destroy the dead energy and regenerate the dead energy to new life. With new life, new energy, you have new power. You become a new, not new, free woman. Free woman. And the free woman is able of becoming M-A-N. Master, able and noble. Those are the 3 steps. There's a word in the book written across it that says progress. That's good enough. It most certainly is progress when she's standing on the 3rd step. She should have the light. If she's an advanced soul, hell, she might be the light when she gets to the 3rd level. One wonderful thing about the discovery that the black woman makes, how spiritually advanced she is. Suddenly, sister, a real good friend of mine's wife, Norman Jordan's wife, was listening to me and him talk about some things spiritual, you know. She sat there an hour and a half, and that's hard for Aries to do, ain't it? without saying a word. And she put her books down and put the baby down and went in the bedroom. Next day, a couple of days later, I went back over there. And she said, you know what? When I came back over there, I went in there and laid down just to find out what y'all was talking about. Do you know my light came on? She hadn't even read the book, man. Just went to lay down to find out what we was talking about. Great souls. Great souls. And until the black woman comes forward with her spiritual presence, we cannot have a renewed, rejuvenated, and peaceful, harmonious society. She is the center of our world. And that ain't going to change. You see? Her energy dictates to us our behavior. If her energy grips you between your legs, you're going to be jealous and wild and lusty, suspicious. If her energy grips you in your heart, you're going to be a wonderful, calm, and balanced human being, full of love and joy and happiness. She's the center of your life. If you want to know what the trouble is out there, Mama is, I like what Farrakhan said, Mama is first God on the lap, rocking the baby, feeding the baby, nursing the baby, rocking the baby, teaching the baby to talk, to sing, to play. That's God. First God. And what Mama knows, she tells baby. What she don't know, she cannot tell baby. So if Mama is ignorant of self, she's ignorant of baby. So she's going to miseducate baby. That's what you see out there. People who don't know who they are, what they are, and many of them don't even know where in the hell they are. Well, Reverend Biscuit ain't changing that. He don't know how to do it. He got a shot out there at the high school the other day, or he was supposed to go out there and give a pep rally. And, 5 minutes, Reverend Biscuit is preaching. Who you for? Jesus. Who you for? No, it ain't about Jesus, right? It's about who are you? What are you? Where are you? Where can you go? What are your possibilities? What do you have working for you to get where you're going? That's what it's about. That is educate, educare, educo. Draw out that which is within. Children need power so they can protect themselves, so they can be divinely guided away from men who will snatch kids and rape them. They need power so they can be happy too. Children can be joyous, loving, and kind. You see? It's about power. Not black power, light power. Of course, out of the darkness cometh the light. Let's take a look at the book of Esther, briefly. I can't try to do the whole book, and see what is being articulated here. It's a wonderful story, and I want all of you all to read it, especially my two sisters here. But read it with the dictionary, metaphysical, under your book, because you're reading the symbolic story, hopefully. Get my notes here. I don't have to do too much stumbling and fumbling. Oh, I got it. Okay. Anybody read the first 3 verses for me? Anybody?
Now it came to pass in the days of
Ahasuerus.
This is Ahasuerus, which reigned from India even unto Ethiopia over 107 and 20 provinces. That in those days when the king Ahasuerus...
Hold it right there. Now I want you, my sister, to read the same verse so we get another click in on something.
Now it came to pass in the days of Ahasuerus, this is Ahasuerus which reigned from India even unto Ethiopia, over 120 provinces.
Oh, is that what it says? Where did I get the, oh, it must be another verse. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm looking for another verse. Go on. Okay, go on, my brother.
That in those days when the king Ahasuerus sat on the throne of his kingdom, which was in Shushan the palace, in the 3rd year of his reign he made a feast unto all his princes and his servants, the power of Persia and Media, the nobles and princes of the provinces being before him.
Okay, go on.
When he shewed the riches of his glorious kingdom and the honor of his excellent majesty many days, even 180 days.
Okay, there it is, right there. How many days was it?
180 days.
How many degrees is that?
180.
Thank you. So that's how much of a man? Thank you. All right. Let's keep the science going so we know what we're talking about. We're not talking about a king and a queen and some slaves. We're talking about you, your nature. We're talking about the